Hello everyone, and what is going on? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. We are back for playing in the full walkthrough video in the Crew 2. We'll be moving on in part 48 at this part of the video segment. It's been so long ever since I have doing the last video from part 47 in stage 2 of the USB Tour East Edition from August 3rd, 2021. But right now, this one might have a brand new season and a different continuation to be on the same path. After we going on to be in the third part, we'll have to go on to be in the stage 3 of the USB Tour East Edition. So now, let's get back in and continue on ever since I have participated from every live summit event to be currently to be stopped at Icon 1944. So what else should I have to do for this part of the video segment? All kinds of brand new events ever since to do some other content updates. But I bet it does, so I should probably have to go and continue on to be in the third stage to be using in the Alpha Grand Prix discipline. Alright, so next up, from Miami, Florida to Dallas, Texas. That one might have a good followers and more bugs to be added as usual. So I bet that one might give a good excellent moment to have all kinds of different moments ever since during my time of training in the live summit event. So let's go and participate to be in stage 3 on the Alpha Grand Prix discipline to be using on to the USB Tour East Edition. But in the meantime, because I got so many vehicles ever since during the part of the USB Tour West Edition, during the part of the live summit is going to have to do some more major expansion. So, time for me to pick an Alpha Grand Prix vehicle. So I'm about to go for the Red Bull RB13 2017. We'll have to take the next one. We'll be ready to go. It's been a while, you guys. I know you guys really think I might need to continue on to do this part of the walkthrough. We'll have to do some more major events and expanded opportunities ever since we have been currently to be moved on in Dominion Forsberg and Frozen. So now, gonna have to go racing and get ready to roll it out to be on the most finest race.
Stage number 3 of the US Speed Tour East, leaving Miami for Dallas, Texas.
So let's get it on and roll it out to have the checkpoint to be on the same current route, just like what you did from last time. I'm so very good to have a very good time moment to have the USB Tour East Edition for the first and second stage, and even the special to be at New York City and Miami, Florida to do a special. Time to get ready to roll it out. Keep pressing on by every checkpoint. The traction will have to be stay in position to be going on to 0. Go for the highway. Press on to be at the current route on the checkpoint. Just gonna have to go keep on racing to stay clean and do momentarily to have an ordinary normal event rather than all kinds of different type moments to be on the live summit. Alright, that's more like it. Feels good to be back, you guys. Feels good to be back, and all I might need to do is gonna have to keep focused on the USB Tour East Edition before the West will have to be waiting in to be on the standby. We'll continue on. So now, proceed on to the next checkpoint to be on the follow route. Currently to be in the south of Gulf of Mexico. West Florida coast. Proceed in to make a next destination to be arriving in to be at Tampa Bay. Marvelous sightseeing view. Now gonna have to keep driving to be raced around at the Gulf Coast. Okay, keep going. Take that T intersection by the next corner. Alright, looks like things are doing well out there because of the graphics has been turns out to become different and well enhanced ever since PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S by having 60 frames per second. I really bet it turns out to become very much more highly enhanced to give some good improved graphics and some handling on any kinds of different vehicle during the part of the latest update. But it sure does, but all I might need to do is gonna have to do a major follow-up catch-up to do some more events on the full walkthrough. But this is a brand new season ever since I have stopped from part 47 onto the previous video. But halfway there, towards the end, in about 58% in the progression, now we see New Orleans leaving the city to be going in to be at Louisiana. Alright, that's more like it. Take that opposite direction, we'll have to go for the left turn. Checkpoint clear. Keep pressing on to be on the highway. You'll have to take more speed to go up in about 270 miles per hour. %75% is now passed. Keep pressing forward. Now currently to be at Old Louisiana. Gonna have to keep trying without having a wall ride. Now entering the swamp. Pass by and gonna have to get back to a different location to be on the area. Back to Old Louisiana, followed by the swamp. %10 to go until arriving in Dallas, Texas, the Lone Star State. Okay, there goes the contact. Gonna have to keep trying and keep a good low precision by the handling. There goes the Great Plains, passed by the Hill County. One last push.
Well, our Cowboys are coming up to Dallas with its Texas Motorplex where speed was born. Who will win the stage?
Alright, looks like event is complete. $34,042 is now earned. Got some good ordinary part to be on the common and rare by having different type of separate category to be going needed. But no need to have any kinds of different parts because it'll have to be converted to do some spare part to be scrap. Alright folks, here I am, arrived in Texas to be located in Dallas. So, I really bet moving on in stage 4 to be using with a touring car discipline might have a very good excellent to be on the get-go. But also to have one event to be doing a special for having a rallycross discipline. Looks to me because I got all the best rallycross vehicles that I have been used with all kinds of different UDRS liveries and other kinds of different variation to be outfitted with some vanities. But good thing I got collect them all ever since do this part of the live summit. But anyway, let's go and take on the special before moving on to be in Hovercraft to be on the Gator Rush introduction. Let's enter the event. Choose any rally-based vehicle will be selected. Good thing I'm switching up to be on the Ford Fiesta, that will might give a good excellent selected pick by recommend. Time for me to choose any rallycross vehicle to go for my own style. For my own style, I have to go and choose the Chevy Camaro SS Rallycross Edition 2010 will have to be good and check to be at 230 per level. So I'm about to go for having a Rallycross muscle car, we'll have to go for the track. Good to go, and let's do this.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, time to go and beat the main time in 2 minutes,
Here comes the
51
US Speed
seconds.
Tour East, Dallas, Texas. Queen City of the Southwest, the Big D.
Sure thing, the Big D is actually to become very good for Dallas to represent the state of Texas. Now we got some good spectators, if I could probably have to see it, to master every turns, and gonna have to go for any shortcuts like the Joker layout. We'll have to go much more quicker to be on the main advantage. Slow in, going out, checkpoint will proceed to take the next turn at the final. So let's giddy up on to lap number 2. There we go. Looks like UDRS in Sportec will take the challenge to take 3 laps all at once to have a new record to be on the total time. Let's go. Electrifying will be proceed on to the next part of the turn after taking 2 checkpoints clear. Now going back onto the Joker. Slow and steady. It's like riding in a bull to have some tough elevation on the terrain. Go for the drift. Make that good chain reaction. Final lap, here I come. But you guys might know about this event because it is going to be quite very good to have one rally car who will have to take the challenge, or going to have to work together as a crew to have an ordinary race. Because it looks to me because having a rallycross variation direction is going to be so good, and well proud to have a good place to be on Texas. But not to mention because American cars are also to be well suitable and go for doing some tight turns to be on the rallycross track between the dirt and tarmac all together.
There they go, past the last checkpoint.
Here it comes.
The finish line is
Finish line is now checked and
stage.
complete to have a ghost time in 2 minutes 11.652 seconds is now finally complete for only a normal difficulty. 20,000 bucks to be earned and 1 part to be received as well. Alright, now that's what I call American rallycross racing on the track. So what else next? Good thing driving American cars is going to be doing a whole lot of fun out there to be racing and drive around in Texas. So I bet there might be some more events to be located out here onto the state. But especially to have Dominion Forsberg and Frozen is now available to have 9 new events ever since on to the 6th Motorflix season on episode 1 and episode 2. However, if I could probably might quite give it a good excellent hovercraft will have to be ready to go on to be participate in the next video to go on to be at Gator Rush. But don't worry, because every kind of event will have to take a good focus to be on Texas for having street race, rallycross, touring car, and other types of discipline whenever I might need to go in. But in the meantime, because I'll have to make sure to go later on in Dominion Frozen and Forsberg to have 2 types of events to be on different track layouts. So let's have a good check. Big Bend and Big Bend Observatory. Alright, so I'll have to go for it to take on 2 events to be on the same spot and different track layout to go for a sprint race. But in the meantime, because later on to have this part of the racing segment, we'll have to go for street racing. Time for me to grab any kinds of street vehicles to go by discipline. Alright, automatically choose any kinds of good rarity by the choice. But good thing all kinds of different vehicles that I have collected to do this part of the collection will have to go exactly to be at the range in 280. So what do you guys think? Gonna have to go for only 1 car and motorcycle to have 1 of every event, or just gonna have to keep using it instead? My pick, my decision. So let's see, which car should I have to go with? Alright, so maybe I have to go and choose the Chevy Corvette C2 will take the first one. Time to grab the Stingray and go enter to be at the Big Bend event. I'm so very good to be driving all kinds of different events ever since during the part of the live summon to do all kinds of different theme activities. But especially to have my own current avatar is now outfitted to have a Dominion Frozen to be ready to be driving on the track. But I bet you guys like it.
2,
So it'll have to be take place to be on early morning. So let's do this and go focus to be in the lead. One street race and a very good excellent challenge to go down the hill. Let's stay on top of the game. Gonna have to go down the hill to take every part of the checkpoint. One deer just passed by. Going forward and follow through to be on the handling. 4th gear kick up. Now going for the braking position. Close call. Gonna have to stay on the street. And then gonna have to make the next turn to be at the right. So you see, different route and different race event to be at the Big Bend ever since from the first installment in the crew to do an observatory dash. Looks to me because it is going to be very much more fun to be well drive to be on the Perspex version. But now, the street race discipline is going to have to do all kinds of challenges. We'll have to be driving around to have a same condition, and especially to have different replay will be needed as well during the part of every exact clip. But here comes the windy turns. Stay maintained and press on by every checkpoint to be on the follow route. Close call. Now gonna have to go on to the steep downhill. Another hairpin on the way. Almost to be at 77% in the progression until arriving at the town for a finish line. Checkpoint clear. Come on, keep it up and keep it go. 3 miles until Big Bend will be arrived at the current destination. Whoa! Do you see that? I cannot believe it that it was a Honda Civic Type R just jumped in by a second ago. That almost scared me out. But good news. Made it on time. First place to have 2 minutes 48.339 seconds to have 20,000 bucks to be earned. Time for me to get back to do some regular farming work. And that's not all. 100 Civic Type R just passed by ever since I just made a quick encounter by having a respawn appearance. Phew. That was so close that I almost get crashed. Now let's have a good look to have a zoom out to be on the map. This route might be quite very good to have some tight turns and elevation. Talk about driving on a mountain pass to be race around to be on the west coast. So I bet Big Bend is now checked and complete. Next up, Big Bend Observatory for having another round to be on the street race event. Let's go back to be on the same spot ever since we start out from the beginning. Now go back and choose a different car. This time I might have to go for only Dodge vehicles will have to be well selected. Time for me to grab the 2013 Dodge SRT Viper GTS will be at the ready. From driving Chevy and now Dodge steps in for having another round to be taking part to have a different route and same location to be at the Big Bend. Racing at the observatory will have to take a different condition to take another challenge. I really bet it does because one classic and one modern supercar will have to be ready to start out to be on the grid.
2,
From nighttime and daytime, we're having 2 locations altogether and equal for only 1 position to be at the bridge.
Feel like going for a little drive today?
Let's do this and get ready to drive. So you see, by having some consecutive hairpins like you're driving in Haruna, definitely known as Mount Akina from Initial D, but it turns out to have some elevations to do some uphill and downhill by doing some street racing to be on a daytime condition. Also to have some drift discipline when you're in free mode to drive anywhere to be doing some drifting skills to be in Texas. But not to mention because Japanese car might be quite very good to be having a perfect place to be driving on a low mountain pass. So here comes the checkpoint. There goes the observatory to be arrived in the current destination by having a good view of a landmark. .9 seconds. That should be doing well, going average, and proceed as always. We'll have to take some tight turns. We'll have to keep going clean racing at the next destination. Now here comes the turn bridge. Halfway there in about 53% in the progression. Good thing the import smoke will have to find a perfect trail. Just find your line to be on the open road for only 1 street race to face the horizon. Another checkpoint clear. Proceed as well. There we go. Perfect hairpin. And there goes a wide open at the next turn. Oh boy, looks like deers are roaming in. Gonna have to keep a good watchful eye. That might have a disadvantage that will be loosened up by having a distraction. That was close and embarrassing. Okay, keep it well regained. 10% to go remaining in the progression. Now time to kick up the nitro. We'll have to turn this race around. Final stretch. Here I come and made it on time for having a first round complete for only 1 single attempt. Under 3 minutes, and that might be quite very good to have more 21,000 bucks to be added with 372. That should do much perfectly well to have some more common and more rare. Good race, by the way. Very good race and perfect time. We'll have to go for a parking spot to take a break. Now onto the world map, because there might be some other events we'll have to be ready to proceed as possible, but more skills will have to be waiting to come in. So I bet that might have to take any kinds of different skills and discipline, so you guys might know the way. But in the meantime, because other 2 events will have to be proceed to be going well as possible, we'll have to take much more fun event to have 1 hypercar in the road to New Orleans. So I bet I could probably have to go for only 1 more event, and let's find out and see. Just to be planned, and also to have any kinds of hypercar vehicle that you guys might have to pick. But good thing all kinds of different hypercars that I have collected during the part of the live summon for every reasons to see all kinds of different selected and favorite taste. Time for me to choose another hypercar, and I'm about to go for a 2014 LaFerrari. Will have to be at the part of the video segment. But of course, because I'm always gonna have to go for any UDRS Insportec livery during the part of this video segment in part 48. But I bet it does, because all that hard work we're doing that training, we'll have to get back and do the real deal. So let's go and take on for having a Hypercar event from Dallas, Texas, and heading off to be at New Orleans. So let's go and take the lead. Gonna have to go first because I know about the event, and same tactics, we'll have to go by every corner to be on the road route. So now arriving at Mississippi to be at the Delta area. So I bet it'll have to take plenty more turns ever since doing one street race event as a mixed category to be as a combo. But almost there. The next turn will be get passed onto the crossing rail and enter to be at the Avenue Highway. But it's about to get shorter. Going back to be on the main road, we'll have to be ready to be passed by in to be at Old Louisiana. Kick up the nitro, and the LaFerrari takes on for doing the next turn to get much more fine brilliant to take much more clean racing to stay on track. Rather than doing the hard work in the live summon, but the full walkthrough, we might take some basic to go challenging and go for the normal difficulty to be on the ace. It's all about practice, just master well, and keep up for having a main percentage to be on the main progression. Now go blue for nitro. "5 miles until we arrive at New Orleans. We're going back on the highway. This is the perfect time for the Hypercar. We'll have to go for the maximum light velocity." Let's keep it up, and gonna have to stay in about 278 miles per hour for the LaFerrari. We'll have to take a very good, excellent Hypercar iconic moment. Coming through, and gonna have to step it up and go enter to be at the swamp. Now leaving at the Bayou until we're about to be entered to be at New Orleans for having a main part to be at the next turn by having one of the two highway underpass. "20 seconds from the gap, going well behind from 7 opponents. And I'm still in the lead and gonna have to be at the Gulf Coast until arriving at New Orleans to take a different alternative route. Rather than the highway, and gonna have to keep driving on the main road during this part of the event. Time to kick up the nitro. Sharp turn coming in. Several residents may see one Hypercar pass by. And now, here comes the best part. Go for the final stretch. One more checkpoint to go, and the finish line is just right up ahead. Splendid work and average record to be marked in 4 minutes 20.331 seconds. Almost to be at 30,000 bucks, and here it is. 4 kinds of loot parts to be collected, and it'll have to leave one of them to be sent to the HQ. Now that's a very good Hypercar competition ever since to leave from Dallas, Texas and head over to be at New Orleans. Feels good to be back, you guys. Feels good to be back for doing another part in the full walkthrough ever since a year ago. So I bet it'll have to take much more fine reasons to take one video segment at a time to have any kinds of event to go for any disciplines. However, I could probably have to continue on for the next event to be at Stage 4 of the US Speed Tour East Edition for a touring car discipline. We'll have to go to Santa Fe in New Mexico. The next part of the video in part 49 will be racing to be at the Gator Rush introduction. But I bet it does because Hovercraft is about to have a different way to be driving on the land and water all together to have different track layouts to be on different locations around in America. Time to wrap this up, you guys. Part 48 is now complete until moving on in the next video to be part of the full walkthrough. So I hope you enjoyed watching the video in the Crew 2 folks. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to click the subscribe button, then leave a like and comment at the section down below. Check out the links on the description if you want to see more, and don't forget to click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos in the later future. I'll be seeing you guys next time for continue on in the full walkthrough in the Crew 2, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.